I'm here at the land, and I took the precaution of parking my car there, and what I intend to do is to tie my winch off from there and pull this thing, skid it across the ground over to there where it needs to be. Now I have these heavy-duty skates that are designed for this purpose on all four corners of this 40-foot high cube shipping container. It's now empty. Probably weighs close to 8,000 pounds. And I have a 2,000-pound winch. But the idea is that the force of friction against the ground is going to be less than 2,000 pounds. So let's see if we can move it. The container is about 8,000 pounds empty. 3,700 kilograms empty. And the assumption I made is if I come off these specially designed skates, that even on a gravel surface, it would experience far less than that. A force far less than that would be needed to pull it across the ground rather than, say, lift it straight up. The problem I've run into, especially with these skates, is that we're sitting on the ground over here. We're right on the ground, and so the frictional forces are going to be much higher than they would be if we were just pulling on the four corners using those specially designed skates that are made for this purpose. One thing that is a real plus is that using my high lift farm jack and that jack lug that I bought that's specially made for this purpose, it fits in that hole right there, I can lift this thing up. So if I can lift it up, it seems to me I could put rollers under there. Where, you might ask, do I get rollers? Well, I have these pressure-treated round fence posts. They're part of the fence over here. I saved a bunch of them, along with a bunch of old cedar fence posts, when I put in that property line. And they're round, and I've gone over them, and I knocked in these little metal cleats that might get in the way, and my friend the inchworm here will have to fall off. So now I have these round wooden rollers underneath, and just in case anyone drives by, I painted them white on the end, and you can see it's sitting up on those rollers. And the assumption I'm making is that the force of friction on these rollers is considerably less than the force of friction on those skates, given the fact that we're pulling them across a gravel surface. So the question is, can I pull it from there? Well, it didn't work. I got these rollers under there. I got 3 on a side, and I tied off my winch down there, and I was able to shift it. You can see I painted them white here, and you can see I managed to shift it an inch or two before my winch gave out. My winch is rated at 1,000 kilograms. So frictional force this way is greater than that. I guess what's happening is the shipping container is digging into the wood. It's these are rolling. You can see they're moving. It's not like the shipping container is rolling on top of them. These are rolling across the ground. So if I had a more powerful winch, I think this might work. This time, instead of using the winch alone, I'm using the winch with twofold mechanical advantage. I have this pulley and carabiner and a rope secured to that end of the load, and this end of it dead ends over here against this large oak tree. There's a bowline knot, carabiner, strap. All of these are rated for the application. The rope is old and it's dirty, but it's not frayed in any way. And it's rated for considerably more load than what we'll get with this shipping container. And over here, I have the same winch. So this is twice the pulling power. You can see I have just enough rope to make it work. There it is. We'll see what we can do. I had this stick right here. So I pulled it about 6 inches before my winch conked out. My winch is rated at 1,000 kilograms, and it is protected. You know, when it detects more weight than that, it just turns itself off. And I was able to shift that thing a little bit before it turned itself off, and used the same winch. Went in there about 200 feet, found a straight log that was already on the ground. Let's see if we can use this as a roller. So I used the forestry winch. I tied it off to there. The portable winch. I used it and pulled the log from there to here. Then I found this snag here. I cleaned it up a bit with my little chainsaw, and I used the snatch block and the winch to pull the log, which is right there, to pull that to underneath the shipping container. By the time I got that log up here, all the bark had fallen off of it, and you can see it just clears the bottom there, and I have those heavy stumps now that I found that are holding up the sides. So next time I'll get this jack log off of here. Next time I'll pull it a little further underneath. Another day, and I'm back with the shipping container moving project, and what I've done is I've placed that large pine log underneath the shipping container. I skidded it up here with my portable winch, and you can see it coming out the other end there. Clearly it's broken. It's broken now, so I no longer, it's not so good, and it broke just like this thing here. So now, let's see if I can't get some skids underneath here so we can get some, some skates, so we can get better movement. And we'll just keep going with it. I've moved it from about there all the way to there with not much trouble, with 2 times mechanical advantage and the 1,000 kilogram winch. Okay, it was about here. I just did another pull, and you can see the kind of forces we're dealing with. You can see how that skate has been digging into the ground. I'm going to see if I can't get that broken pine log under here to act as a roller to take some of the frictional forces off of the ground here. We'll see if we can't do that. Made a bit of a pull. That worked fine. This shoe is still engaged. I call a skate. We now have a deal where this is impinging upon that foot right there. But we still have good purchase with that big roller, but still 2 times mechanical advantage. But the problem we have now is that this shoe is just digging into the ground. It's just plowing in due to the excessive weight. So and we've hit this water bar in the driveway. It's kind of a hump, and we're about over the hump, but it'd probably be best if we could raise this up a bit. So I'm going to see if I can't get something under there to help reduce the force of friction and get some rolling in here. I was at an impasse here. 2-fold mechanical advantage would not shift it over that hump. So what I did is I added an extra pulley here. You rigged it so I tie off here at the load. You run it through that pulley, back through this pulley on the same carabiner, and then back to the portable winch. And that had a dramatic impact. I was able to shift this and pull it up over that hump. And I was actually able to free that obstruction in the back. We'll see if we can't lift up that corner now and put that skate underneath it. The shipping container was there, and now it's here. I've moved it a significant distance, and I've determined that the threefold mechanical advantage, the 3X mechanical advantage, will pretty much do it. That can be accomplished with 2 pulleys, 2 carabiners, and enough places to tie off. I've been tying off on that little cherry tree over there, and I put 1 pulley on the end of this, the bottom of this hackberry tree, and I just need to keep doing it. The idea is to bring it to over there. Now the problem is, all I have to tie off on over there near the target is that really small dogwood tree. So we'll have to come up with something. The shipping container was around here. Now it's way down there, thanks to a log rollers and the threefold mechanical advantage afforded to me by 2 carabiners and 2 pulleys and a 1,000 kilogram capacity portable winch. Now I need to look for new anchors on that end of the property. Pulling off of this small dogwood tree here and that cherry tree there, the strongest point. But now I'm out of room at the end of the rope, so now I need to find anchor points down this way. And we have a small wispy dogwood here. It's and the question is, can I tie off there? If not, I might be able to tie off on that there after I cleaned it up a little bit. And if not, I'm going to have to build some sort of anchor over here. The shipping container was about here. Now it's way down there. And I'm still not done. See, I'm using this little cherry tree as an anchor point for the portable winch. And I have a pulley here and a pulley over here at the base of this very small dogwood tree, which seems to have survived the ordeal. Kind of lucky there. Okay, I'm back with the shipping container. And used to be way up there near my car, and now it's down here. I need to pull it a distance of about, say, 15 feet from where it is to about where we are with the stick. Then I'll be able to pull off of that tree and get it up to near that white line. What I have is, it's been set up for that same threefold mechanical advantage with a pulley and a carabiner on this end and tie off on this end, and I have my winch over on this tree with another pulley on the same tree but higher up. So that's the idea. The idea is to get it to about here, to bring it finally to this white line from where it is, straight in, so a crane can pick it up. Then I want to use this tree as an anchor to pull it the rest of the way. We'll see what we can do. All right, we're here. We're at that stick. 3X mechanical advantage. Now we need to pull it that way. I might actually pull it a bit more so that we could, since I'm tied up already to that tree, and then we'll pull it over to the final spot. I tied up on this tree here with the pulley over there. because I needed that end a little more this way. So you can see the how it's turned into the space. So I have more room for the crane to get in there. So now it's just a matter of straightening it up this way. Shipping container used to be up there in the vicinity of my car, right near the end of where my car is, and now it's way down there where it needs to be. You might ask how we got that done, and one of the tools that was used were all these log rollers, the remains of which you can see here. Also a few boards that you can see here that were used to skate and skid the shipping container across the gravel ground. I'll emphasize that one guy, me, working alone, did this using the equipment I have here. That's what I consider to be a forestry winch, 1,000 kilogram total capacity. It's an electric winch. It's designed mostly for forestry work, and I'm out in the forest and I've done a huge amount of work. I also use these two pulleys, which I got from the Portable Winch company, that are designed for this purpose to give me the mechanical advantage that I needed to make it happen. And also these two carabiners. I brought in that vice grip because sometimes this binds and you need the vice grip to unscrew that. And of course I had these two straps so I could tie off the trees, and I had this so I could tie off to the shipping container, and last but not least the rope. Of course, that's not the last thing I had. I also had, in order to jack up the ends of the shipping container so I could get the rollers underneath, I use this high capacity, high lift farm jack and that jack lug.